Alright, welcome to Just Magic the Gathering. I was, at a certain point, looking to do some serious grind, and maybe even keep a good clip on it, because cast 20 creature spells. At this point, I think it's the very last day, 8 hours. And anything that I work, if I work this entire ring and get my 15 wins, or this one, it's all going to reset. So if I don't finish my dailies, then they won't get replaced. And this is one of the few times where I guess timing matters, or trying to clear out your rings is the most beneficial, because they'll get a full replacement when the new set rolls in. Oh, is he in copper? That has to just be smaller gold. I'm not a huge fan. One of the things I did yesterday, and I didn't actually get around to publishing the video, and at a certain point I might not even bother at this point, I did spend a rare token, a mythic token. Boo. I was thinking if I do the kiln now, what I really need, this deck is mana heavy, so I'm not necessarily... And I'm curious, because the Tend the Kiln says for anyone you own, so I'm wondering if the ones in my deck are too. That these are now kindreds, and we'll start proccing the kiln. It's going to attack for the 1 life. Not a huge fan to see the control. If I just kill it, is he going to try and protect it? He's thinking about what I'm up to. He's playing white-black. At this point, I would just basically have to pass and wait for Shiva next round. I'm not sure. He's trying to play the slow game too, I think. 4 mana. A 2/3 panda. At this point, I can tap him. Put a stun counter on him. And that's a permanent counter. And if I'm not careful, that's going to get across my braid. If I do 5 damage to you, I'm not sure the best way to play some of this, or I've never really used Tend the Kiln before. This is 2 mana or a 2/2. The Twin Blade Paladin. Whenever you gain life, put +1/+1 counter on this creature. If you have 25 or more, it has double strike. Trying to figure out the best way to, do this. If I do Shiva again, just trying to think, because I can do something like Iroh's, and I didn't realize that actually reset and that it didn't keep proccing every round. Glad to see how part of that works. Another Twin Blade Paladin. Gets +2/+2. Has a 5/3. This is very much not my game. I was trying to figure out how I could even get over this. If I do something like kill you, And then 1 damage to each of you. And at a 7/7, there isn't really much I can do to get over that. Second 10 the kiln. It's probably not going to do me much. Here's where I'm actually wondering if I should just dip. It's 2 rounds if he pushes here. Or both to the final. At 2-3. I should have put the stun counter on the other one, that was stupid. So yeah, could have played that a little differently. But happy to move on. And was, in a way, wondering about... 1-2 games, I tweaked the deck to hopefully be stronger, and I've now at this point lost both games. But it was intended to be kind of a fast-moving deck, and like my token deck is probably a better option to be playing. But I do want to see how this holds up since I did take the time to build a newer deck. I should be able to get into some sort of mana. I'm 1 shy of being able to do much. But I have the Braid for control, and if I can get into 1 more mana, I can get both my card draws up. I basically have to take the kill on that. He's playing blue-green. Landfall. Comes in tapped. We get secondary kill now. Whenever a land you control enters, target creature has base toughness and power of 3/3 until under control. If you control 6 or more lands, that creature has base power and toughness of 6/6 instead. Nice. So that is going to be problematic as well. But I now have the ability to go hunting. And the reflective might not have been the best option. Feldar's Retreat. So every time a land enters, he can create a 2/2 or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature. I'm gonna go for the boon. And I still have enough I can do the card draw. Permanent card draw I think is a better option. And that's more how I was planning on this deck working. Destroy target artifact. Enchantment or creature with flying. To target creature with flying. And you can keep, in a way, minusing off there, because that only takes -3. I think at this point I should do an all-attack push on Vivian. I'll take the 1, but I don't care. The point of it was to get the duplication. With the landfall, though, he's going to keep getting his kitties back. But now I also have enough mana to be able to play Shiva. I don't know. Blue-red is probably not the fastest deck, that's for sure. A mono-red, I think, would be stronger. Allows me to go land hunting, but I'm tapped out and can't use it right now. I'm assuming if he would have gotten a land, he would have played it for the... I need 2 to do it. I don't know. And with my Sunderflock, I can just return that to his hand. Return Vivian to his hand. At this point, I will go for the land hunt. Gonna have to go for her again. And I went, in a way, missed something there with why that didn't return the... Good game. Because I'm pretty sure that's his game. All non-elemental creatures. It's an elemental Hydra. I will have to remember that about the Mossborn Hydra. Because that's 16/16. I can soak it up with my bird. But there's nothing I can do after that. And there's no card in this deck that'll save me either. I don't know. I was just trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. Yeah, there's no getting around it. I was trying to figure out how much that I could soak up. If he gets one more land, it's over anyways. But, yeah. In a way, that's a bit of a boo. 3 losses in a row. Achievement accomplished, creature power. And I am working my rings. Yeah. Questioning giving it one more try. I was planning on trying to accelerate the slow parts already, just because I do want to knock out both my rings if I can do it in a somewhat timely fashion. And questioning very much swapping back over to my token deck. Winning's nice. I was trying to figure out what I could have played differently there, and in some ways I am still learning the deck and figuring out how the mechanics work. I very much should have dealt with the Hydra early. So I like this. Gain 1 life. I'll take the scry. I'll take the duplication. He's going for the scry, and he's playing, that's shrines. No, it's a vigilant land. A 2/2. You may return another permanent to its owner's hand you control. So he's definitely worked the flash out there on me. And it has landfall, I didn't even recognize that one. When this creature, another creature with flying dies, return another target creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. When I kill them both, just actually trying to figure out what the best option here is, because assuming he's looking to protect, maybe? It does seem to give people pause. Without as a flyer, I can't defend against him anyways. He gets to scry 1. Saws his chocobo, he gets to go searching for a bird. I can think of the bird in my landfall deck, yes. The traveling chocobo. Pride of Flame. If I do, I almost have to Obliterating Bolt. At this point, we're just trading. Assuming he's going to play his Traveling Chocobo. I basically have to Obliterating Bolt his Traveling Chocobo, which just puts me on the super slow here. No rest, no mercy, no matter what. Yeah, it's a good game. I don't have actually any special emotes. I'm pretty sure this is his game. What is he playing? Flying, Double Strike, and Vigilance. So there isn't, at this point, anything I can do about, yeah, really much. He has 2 flyers. This Strike Force has an uncommon. Double Strike. Yeah, that is unfortunate. At this point, I'm like back to the beginning of gold, and then gold, I'm pretty sure I'm still getting 2 wins for every loss. So that is almost embarrassing. Or says something for, I think, how well my deck's holding up. Because at this point, I needed to get creatures or attacks. Should double check what I was working on. Because yeah, I don't want to be at this for a lot longer, and I'd at least like a win. At a certain point it is. I'm not necessarily a huge fan. I need to create tokens in order for that to do much. And this does create me tokens when I get life. So I mean but that's on 3 and it's kind of slow. They're playing goblins. Mono red goblin deck, and that's 228 cards, I think. What would have that been? The Stadium Hardliner. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, you get to create a 1/1. And then this one, you can sacrifice it to deal 1 damage to... Probably want my Caretaker's Fang out at this point. Because Orinobu will come in with a token. Whenever 1 or more tokens... And same with my Cat Collector, because it'll come in with the... Orinobu's the better option. End turn. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked. Elspeth Smite. Cat Collector. And I'm glad for the mana. So at this point, that'll get me my cat token. And he's a dragon? Behold a dragon if you do create a treasure token. whenever a dragon you control enters, you get a +1/+1 counter on it. Until end of turn, it becomes a dragon in addition to their other types. I can, at a certain point, do the cat collector mechanic again. In this case, I can go for the double card draw. I'm surprised he didn't try to double up and or even just block my cat collector. He doesn't want to sacrifice his dragon ascendant. And in a way, I'm not against sacrificing one of my cat collectors. That trick can only work once. So, if I do something as simple as the Dollmaker's Shop, my Helpful Hunter, I can sacrifice my food, and that goes wide quick. Much smoother gameplay than the Elemental. I do wonder what he was up to. If he's just mana's strapped, because at this point he's only played the 3. There goes its 4th. But the draw mechanic on this deck is nice. The war effort does... Oh, I should block the token. Do I have enough to get through? I do. Crunchity. So, I don't know. I feel almost a little guilty on that. Yeah, going up 2 for every one I lose. At least that way I can not fall too far behind if I do dink around on other decks. But yeah, with that, I am going to call it. Well, 2 more, right? What was it? Cast 2 more creature spells. And then I am actually basically all caught up and good to go. Orleans the Collector. I kind of like it. I mean, the Helpful Hunter will hopefully get me into more mana. I like their art. It's simple. They're playing blue-white, or blue-white, sorry, black-white. -2. Sorry, little kitty. The Phyrexian Arena. I was wondering about almost playing the slow game here. I need more mana. Authority of Councils. And a second one. He definitely has a card draw mechanic going on. He gets 1 life. I get a token. So Artifact Enchantment, I can take care of his Authority of Councils, which is probably what I should have done initially. Get another Helpful Hunter. He's going to start having to discard at this point, but he has no end of control. The Lunar Convocation. Create the tokens. At this point, I almost think he's going to bleed himself out from destroy all creatures. And I didn't necessarily have the duty beyond death to be able to counter that. Create a token. It's the essence channeler, yeah, I'll get flying. Curious what he has for, I guess, protect. Because when he attacks with the essence channeler, I can Elspeth smite him. Another essence channeler. Alright. Regal Caracal. Oh. I should have gone wider earlier. Because at this point he tries to play something like destroy all creatures. I can duty beyond death. +1/+1. And done. The token deck is mean. I cannot deny that. And this kind of makes me want to be like, I'll just cut out the front part that's all slow and boring. But with that, I will finish my dailies, and happy to... Divine Resilience. Sorry, I probably should have been reading that aloud. Target creature you control gains indestructible intent until end of turn. If this spell was kicked, instead, any number of target creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So for 1, you can protect everybody, or for... that'd be 4... you can protect, or for 1 you can protect 1, but for 4 you can protect everybody. So, with that though, look forward to doing some magic in the future.